another episode, and today we're going to be doing one of my favorite scenarios of all time. That would be Dusty Greens. Here, the objective is to achieve a monthly ride income of $5 grand. Now, I like doing these particular scenarios for a specific reason. That's mostly because there's no time limit on how long you must take to complete the objective. Typically, what I do on the start of this scenario is I will completely get rid of this mini golf course, so I have this entire space to work with. I really just don't see the point in having many mini golf attractions, given that they are extremely slow and I don't have a very good throughput. And the game didn't do what it normally does with guests and sends them out onto the path when you demolish a ride while they're still on it. Awesome. So now we're going to have to drag all these guys all the way back. And look, they're bored already. Don't worry, guys. There's more exciting rides coming. Just got to get you all ready. And we'll just fix up the land here, because I don't like that being there. And that just gave us about 1,000 more to work with at the start here. And that's actually a really good thing for us, so we can start building a few more thrilling rides before, to actually start things out. So we'll just do a pre-built ride right about there. First thing we're gonna do before we do anything is cut research funding. I don't want any money going towards that unless I can afford it. I really like doing these smaller parks. They're easier to manage, and they have a much better challenge since you don't have as much room to work with. We'll go ahead and test that. And over here, we're going to build a nice, simple roller coaster. I think we'll start by actually building the loop first. Going a bit silent here because I'm kind of getting into my building here. Sorry, this is so boring. So far, I've been having a lot of fun recording this stuff for y'all. This is a great game, and I think it really deserves more people to know about it. Not that there's not a whole bunch of people that don't already know about it. It's a fantastic game series, and it's a shame Atari kind of threw it down the toilet. A real shame. Roller Coaster Tycoon World was just a complete, unmitigated disaster. It was just... Atari, what are you doing? Atari, stop! Really, they should have just stuck with the formula they had with Roller Coaster Tycoon 3, because that was a much better game. I think I will actually build the station. Start out here, just sort of have some scenery to increase this coaster's excitement rating, because this is not that exciting of a design. It's kind of just generic roller coaster number 37. Oh, escape hatch is probably already open, so let's just go ahead and get that open, so I guess stop getting so bored. I accidentally sped it up. That's open now, and that will be collecting more money as we continue building the station for this roller coaster. looks alright. Alright, oh, still got one more place to put that. Don't quite know what I want to do for the roof. I'll just do how I normally do it. Except this time with a flat roof. Whoa, it's so creative. Really, it's a good idea to build stuff like this around your roller coasters. It can increase the excitement rating a bit, and you can charge a little bit more for the ride. And in scenarios like this, being able to charge as much for your rides as possible is vital because, well, your main objective is to get money from the ride tickets. We haven't even tested this ride yet, and I'm already building stuff for it. There we go, that should do it. And there we go, we got our excitement rating. Let me see if I can do something to increase that a little bit. Maybe add some support structure to the back. I was trying to open something there. What did it try to open? See, that increased the excitement rating a bit. Nope. But that's alright, the excitement rating is higher than the intensity rating, so let's go ahead and charge that for it. And we'll charge $3 for the on-ride photo all throughout the park. There we go. Change the color scheme a bit. There we go, another generic ride name for a generic ride. I think what we'll do here is create a small food court. Emphasis on the word small. We don't really need anything too big right now because we don't have a whole lot to work with. That's fine. bunch of benches. I'll probably start getting some staff here to organize everything, just start cleaning up everything, because trash seems to be starting to gather up. Gotta love cheeseburgers. Always. Cheeseburgers are never a bad idea. This gives our guests some good options. Just organizing the staff. Two more hanging. I think we got enough staff for now. You know what? We'll hire one more mechanic. I'm going to be building some rides. I'm trying to keep this as compact as we can possibly get it to be. Use up as much of the space as we can, just while trying not to build on top of everything. This is not something I like to do. There we go, we got a pirate ship going. And that's something that this type of park would do, is just sort of cram a pirate ship in that tiny, tiny space. There we go, that's looking alright. Mark information stall right there. Couple of trash barrels. Can't build that here. There's a footpath in the way. I don't care. Turn on zero clearance, see how you like that. No. There's no point. There we go, more sketchy amusement park rides. More and more guests are piling into the park. Let's see, how much are we getting from ride entrance tickets? 418, that's not bad. About halfway through this month. That's not too bad at all. We'll just sort of plonk that right there. Guests seem to like that kind of ride. I should do some research into go-karts, because in this particular scenario you can get go-karts, and those are always good for keeping guests in lines. Guests, for some reason, seem to really like go-karts. To be honest, I don't blame them, because racing is probably one of the greatest sports in the world, if not the greatest. Okay, since it's one of those guest-dependent rides, it doesn't run without guests at all. We'll run that. You know what, we're going to go ahead and put normal funding into ride research, for thrill rides specifically. We're actually making a decent profit per week, so I could probably let this run for a little bit. Ooh, Enterprise, that's a good one. Well, let's go ahead and build one of those. Guess like this ride. There we go. Guessing in this game can be kind of dumb sometimes. With this little path here, handymen can sometimes get stuck because they just don't know what to do. It's like, oh, I'm in a slightly twisty path. What do I do? Yeah, leave it. It's gonna pay back some of that loan. Mission Simulator, good for a little thrill ride if you're a little tight on space. So, wow, we are doing unbelievable on ride tickets. We're actually close to completing the goal. This is incredible. This might end up being the shortest scenario we'll play on the channel. Technically, I could build it there, but I wouldn't have enough space for a queue line. Yeah, but with this park, you can just sort of rapidly expand. The guests start coming in, you start seeing the money pour in. This is just one of those scenarios that's kind of really easy, and I don't know why it's in the slightly more difficult section. Because, like, if I look at this, we're about 3,000 away from the goal already, and we've just barely begun. Lord, we're expanding quickly. There's quite a few guests. This would be a good time to check and see if there's any path issues. We might want to, since we have a good amount of income, let's go ahead and hire another handyman just to watch this little area. Because now that we're getting busier, we're going to need more staff. Because you can already see in this section, it's already starting to get dirtied up and ugh. It sort of makes sense. This is the only area where guests can get food. This area is remaining kind of clean though. which I guess makes sense, because we don't have any food stalls over there. Speed it up again. And there we go. There's the thrill ride I wanted. And that is all the thrill rides that you have for this scenario. So we'll just go ahead and go back to normal funding. We'll fund for roller coasters. And now we get to build one of my favorite rides to build in this game, go-karts. And that's simply because there is not a whole lot of special pieces you can work with this thing. Go-karts is just hairpins and hills. The only special piece you have is the station platform, and that's really it. Which makes it a bit of a challenge to build unique go-kart tracks each time, and I just like doing it. I think we got a decent layout for a go-kart track. You want to make sure that your go-kart tracks are not too long, but not too short. 3 laps is really what you want to go for here. We're just going to extend the station as much as we can, get as many carts. Actually, you know, I'm going to make this queue line as long as I possibly can, because as you guys will see, it will fill up. It will fill up. It's not an if, it's a will, because go-karts are always a guarantee to get a huge line. As go-karts get huge lines, guests will be waiting for quite a while. So this is going to be the first appearance of these. These are Q-Line TVs, and you can sort of, if you know rides are going to have long wait times, it's best to put these in here just to keep your guests from getting too bored. And that's what we're going to do here. Since we have quite a lot of cash to work with, we can change the landscape underneath the go-kart track. I want to do this for the aesthetic. Bam. Let me just plant a few trees. No! Somehow ran out of cash. Whoops. Now the go-karts are open. Let's go ahead. There we go. Off they go. As you guys will see, this will get a massive queue line. go. Alright guys, I think I'm going to end it off here. This has been a pretty dang good episode. We made storming progress. If I go ahead and pull up our finances, we are just a little under 3,000 away from meeting the goal of this scenario already. And we've already rapidly expanded the park with quite a few rides. And with that, we'll see you in the next episode. This is the Dancing Squid, out.